You've recently lost a loved one in what appears to be known as a freak accident. A freak accident occurs when there's weird circumstances involving someone's death. I'm Erin Field. I'm going to talk with you a little bit about that. I'm a Connecticut personal injury lawyer with a statewide practice serving all of Connecticut. There's a show on TV called 1,000 Ways to Die, and this show focuses on strange ways that people meet their death. On this show, they've covered things like a guy doing his own liposuction with an industrial strength vacuum. There's a person who was such a bad hoarder that shelves toppled in on them and killed them while they were in their home. And there was a belly dancer who was practicing underneath a ceiling fan with a large scarf that got attached to the ceiling fan, and she got hauled up with it and she ended up accidentally hanging herself. These are freak accidents, but on that show, they do tend to cover people who caused their own death. Now, if your relative was doing something that might have been kind of dangerous or out of the ordinary and something weird happened, or they were doing something ordinary like driving down the highway and all of a sudden an object comes from a construction site nearby and flies through the window in their windshield, hits them on the head and kills them instantly. These are all things that are unlikely to happen. And people die in freak accidents every day that are not their fault. So what's the tendency here? The tendency is to say, well, it was so strange. I don't even know if I can blame anybody for this. But I'm going to tell you something else. There's usually someone to blame. So if your loved one was doing something that is either ordinary or not ordinary and you're trying to find the explanation, you have to look at the evidence. And when there's an accident that happens, the police show up, sometimes firemen show up, and police gather evidence. They're not gathering crime evidence, but they are gathering accident evidence. So the reason this is important is because the person that you loved is no longer with us. And the only thing that can tell their story, besides witnesses that might have been there, is the physical evidence left behind that shows what the accident was. So if this is something that you're dealing with and you have questions about it, give me a call. I welcome the opportunity to speak with you, and I promise I will be compassionate and understanding in the conversation. Thank you.